Can you give us a sense of what's going on the next few days with you guys in terms of your teams and what you'll be doing?
We're going to continue the damage assessment to the north and east of Henryville, through Maryville, and also I may go additionally to the north and east. We're going to follow the original first supercell genetic damage track. I'm going to try to find the ending point of that track, and maybe the other team may have picked it up, possibly. John Gordon may have picked up that track.
Right. Yeah. We'll go as far east as he did west. He started over near the Chelsea area, so we'll be filling the gaps both toward the east and toward the southwest, toward New Pekin. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
Hope that was helpful for everybody.
Yeah, thank you
Good
very
deal.
much.
As we get started here, we do what we think have some good news is that our fatality numbers have not risen since this morning that we spoke. So we think that's some very good news. We're still at 14 throughout southern Indiana, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the 14 folks who are deceased. But again,
what is it here at Henryville?
it is one in Clark County. We had 8 in 3 counties: Scott, Washington, and Clark. We had 8 in the areas the counties that we cover here in the Salisbury Post. So 4 in Washington County, 3 in Scott, and 1 in Clark to make it.
Anyone missed that there been some report of a 9-year-old?
Oh, hold on just a second. Let me finish up, okay? Thank you. What I want to talk about too is we've had numerous injuries, and we've had people asking about how many folks do we know we've had injured. We have no idea how many folks we've had injured. We know there was numerous folks. We had triage centers set up in different locations. All of those places did service people, so we don't really have a hard number on the folks that were injured. Some logistical things that we do want to talk about is tonight, starting at 6 p.m., there will be a curfew that will be enacted, and that is for the affected areas here in Clark County. It will run from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, what we're telling folks is this. We know we have a lot of homeowners that are coming back in the area. They're wanting to check their property, and we're allowing them to do that. If you are not a homeowner and you can't prove to us that you're a homeowner here in the affected areas in Clark County, then we're not going to let you in. It's that simple. We're keeping out folks, would-be looters, or whatever. So if you don't have any kind of proof or documentation that you live there or somebody to vouch for you, again, we talked about this morning, then we're probably not going to let you in. Okay. Another thing that we want to talk about is also a bit of good news for us, is at this time we have no active searches for anyone going on. We have the number of phone calls that we had received on people wanting to check on friends, neighbors, and family. Those have diminished almost to zero. That is another bit of good information for us. So we have no active searches going on at this time. We do have what we call secondary searches going on. We are checking debris piles out in wooded areas and other locations as we come across them. Those searches will probably end tomorrow because we have scoured a 3-county area as we talked about, and we feel pretty confident that we have all locations searched. If there was anyone out there, again, that feels like that they're looking for someone or feels like that there's an area that needs to be searched, please contact us at the Indiana State Police Post at Sellersburg. Again, those numbers, I will give them to you, 1-800-872-6743. And if you're outside of Indiana, it's 812-246-5424. We are sending out search teams if we get information on where someone could be. But again, we have none of those active searches going on. At this time, we're actually kind of shifting gears. We're actually turning into what we call a cleanup mode. And what we are doing is we've had the electric companies, gas companies, and all those folks in here trying to get everything back in order. They are still here working. We're going to spend the next day or two letting those folks get everything cleaned up, get all the electric lines up out of the roadways, get all that taken care of so that we can actually get people in here safely and feel safe about people getting in here, okay? Let me add on to that just a little bit more. We still have a boil water advisory going on for the affected areas in Clark County. You still need to stay away from all the electric lines that are down, and don't take a chance on getting on into one of those lines that are still live. As we go on here too, I also want to mention is that we've kind of focused a lot of our attention, I know the media has here in the Henryville area. Please don't forget about our friends in Scott County, our friends over in Washington County, over in Marysville, Tisco. Those folks were hit just as hard. And I'm actually putting this out there to those folks in those areas. If there is any, we're there. The police are there, we have services there, but if there's anyone there in those areas that needs anything, they should not hesitate to call us and ask for assistance. Even though we are there, you know what I'm saying, we want to make special attempts, reach out to them folks so that they will know that. Another thing that I want to go through here is talk about shelters real quick, okay? We've had a change in what we're going to do on our shelters since this morning. What we are going to do is this. We're going to shift everybody over to the Charlestown High School shelter, which is a Red Cross shelter. So we're asking anyone, if you need shelter for this evening, to either go to the Charlestown High School for the shelter. If you cannot get to the Charlestown High School, if you can come here to the command center at the Monroe Township Volunteer Fire Department, we will set up transportation to get you over there for shelter. There are several locations that are set up throughout town here that are passing out supplies. People in town knows where those are. We will continue those, and we will probably start setting up more of those locations to make sure people have the basic necessities so they can go on and try to get back to their lives, back to normal as much as possible. At that point, I don't have really any more hard information to be able to give you. Sheriff Rodden does want to make a few statements here, and then we're going to open up to questions and answers. And then after that, I have a couple of the Clark County Commissioners that want to go over some logistical stuff with folks starting next week when we get dumpsters and that kind of cleanup started up. So this is Sheriff Rodden here with Clark County.
Just to reiterate a little bit about what Jerry said, you know, we're in this we're going into this cleanup mode, but it's also going to be a safety and security mode still. We will have a presence here along with the state police in all the areas of the county, Marysville, Henryville. If you've taken a ride through the county and you've seen the other locations here in Clark County, you know how devastating it was. So we're just picking up the pieces. We're asking all the citizens to help us. If you don't have business here, if you don't have business in Marysville, please stay home. You're not helping us. We know you want to volunteer to help. We've been deluged with help offers all the way from Indianapolis to Louisville to all over the place. We are very appreciative of it, and we will take those offers up eventually. But at this point, we're still in the safety and security mode for everybody, wanting to keep everybody safe. So that's what we're focusing on as far as law enforcement, the fire departments, the EMS people. We are answering welfare checks. We will continue to answer those, but at this point, we're not getting a whole lot of them. So other than that, I just appreciate everything that everybody's done, and we're just going to keep doing it. Excuse me. I didn't because I thought those guys were doing. Go ahead.
Okay. One thing I do want to mention, we've had a lot of folks wanting to bring stuff in. I know Danny mentioned that. We have a drop-off location now for those supplies that people want to bring in. We actually have the National Guard that is stationed out here on Interstate 65 at the rest area. It's about the 23-mile marker on the southbound side. What people can do is they can just pull into the rest area. We'll have troopers, we'll have National Guards folks in there. They can drop off the supplies and just go on out the other way and travel on down the road. So we do have a location set up for that, for people to come in. One other thing that I wanted to mention, the Red Cross wanted me to mention a website that they have. It's www.safeandwell.org. What that website is if you're looking for someone, you can get on that site and punch their name in, and if they're on the site, it's kind of the way it's set up is you have to sign up on the site if you know people could be looking for you. And if you sign up on the site, if somebody gets on there and punches on there, they can check and they can know you're okay and you can leave information. So that's something that you may want to put out there. It's www.safeandwell.org. Now, if we open it up for some questions here real quick.
Do you have any information about the toddler that was found in Salem?
We don't have any information right now on specific information about injuries or fatalities. That is some stuff, obviously, that will come down the way, but our main focus now is just making sure that we get everyone safe and rescued, and we're coming to the close of that. Hopefully we will be able to get more information from those specific rescue incidents as time goes on. Sorry.
Any idea how many people are homeless right now?
We have no idea how many people are homeless. We know that it's a great deal, there are a great deal of homes have been destroyed, but what I can say is what I talked about, the shelters. We are trying to push everybody to one shelter in Charlestown, and the reason why is because of the low number of folks that we're having show up at the shelters now. So we want to make sure that we get everybody in a concentrated area, so we're going to try to shove everybody over to the Charlestown area. We've got 3 counties here that we are dealing with that we know we have a slew of homeless folks in because of this tornadoes that went through, and that's just the 3 counties that we're dealing with. Obviously there's other counties, you know, that had damage too. So we know in southern Indiana there are a lot of homeless people. There are a lot of people that can't sit down on their own couches this evening or eat dinner at their own dinner tables.
Are they staying with family members?
Go ahead.
Are they staying with family members?
right, we don't know where they're staying at. We know that the turnout for the shelters is kind of low right now, so wherever they're staying at, we don't really know. One thing that I'm glad you asked that question, I do want to mention is kind of a safety thing. We're expected to get some snow and some cold weather in here tomorrow. What we wanted to make sure we do know there are some people staying in their homes that have generators, and those generators are outside. We want to make sure if there's someone or folks that are staying in their homes still, that when this bad weather comes in, the rain and the snow, under no circumstances should you move a generator indoors with you. It should always stay outdoors because of carbon monoxide poisoning. And it seems like every time we have situations like this, we always have one or two folks that make that mistake and do that. So again, please, no generators in homes. I want to make sure I stress that so people will know that.